Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world, coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that a single penny, yes, the same copper-colored coin you've walked past in parking lots your entire life, could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? And yet, today we're diving into the story of the 2009 mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has skyrocketed into the spotlight for one powerful reason: a rare and explosive error that collectors are chasing with unshakable obsession. If you've ever wondered whether your old coins could unlock the wealthy lifestyle you deserve, stay right where you are, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this small piece of metal is causing massive waves in the market and how one single discovery could change everything for you. Act 1 begins with a problem most people don't even know they have. Millions of Americans are walking around with forgotten jars, dusty drawers, and old piggy banks that may be hiding coins worth more than a luxury home. Yet, most people dismiss pennies as worthless clutter. But what if that mindset is the very thing keeping them from stepping into a life of financial freedom? The 2009 Lincoln penny proves this point with dramatic clarity. Minted to celebrate the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the iconic Lincoln cent design, the 2009 series featured 4 unique reverse designs. But one coin, one mistake, and one mint mark from Denver created a tidal wave of excitement that pushed the rare error variety to a staggering $999,000 current market valuation. And just wait until you hear what the error actually is, because we're about to get to the part that coin collectors whisper about like a legend. But before we reveal the error, I want you to imagine something. You're holding a penny. Simple, light, familiar. But what if that penny had a microscopic flaw created by the very machines designed to prevent mistakes? What if that flaw turned your 1-cent coin into a 6-figure treasure? Sounds thrilling, but for some people it has already happened. And now you're beginning to feel that tiny spark of, what if? Yes, that feeling. The one that tells you something big could be sitting quietly in your house right now. Don't ignore it. Lean in. Act 2 takes us into the heart of the story, where everything intensifies. In 2009, during an already turbulent financial era, the Denver Mint produced a limited batch of Lincoln anniversary cents. Somewhere along the line, an extremely rare multi-strike and die-clash error slipped through, creating a coin with distorted design elements, doubled impressions, and a visually stunning anomaly that shouldn't exist. Ironically, the mistake made the penny more beautiful, more mysterious, and infinitely more valuable. Collectors have described this variety as the ghost print, because faint outlines of features appear where they shouldn't be, almost as if the coin carries a hidden message from its creation. Only a tiny number of these have ever been confirmed, and the demand has become so intense that wealthy collectors have entered all-out bidding wars, pushing the value toward $999,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin born from an error has become a treasure nearly worth $1 million. Now here's where things get even more irresistible. For every confirmed example found, experts believe more are still undiscovered. Perhaps tucked inside mixed change rolls. Perhaps resting inside someone's childhood collection. And perhaps, just perhaps, sitting inside your home at this very moment. I know what you're thinking. Could I really have one? And my answer is simple. People who never check will never know. And honestly, what's the worst that could happen? You find nothing, or you find a life-changing asset hiding in plain sight. Not checking would be like walking past a lottery ticket that already has your name on it. But before we move to Act 3, let me throw a humorous curveball at you to keep things interesting. Imagine explaining to your neighbor that you just sold a penny for nearly $1 million. They'd probably say, "A penny? Not even my dog bends down for a penny." And yet here you are, relaxing on a beach, sipping something cold, all because you decided to look twice at a coin worth 1 cent on paper and nearly 7 figures in reality. Life works in funny ways, doesn't it? Act 3 is where transformation happens. Now that you know the story behind the 2009 era penny, the question becomes, what will you do with this knowledge? Coins like this don't just rise in value, they explode. With collectors aggressively hunting for rare mint errors, the demand is at an all-time high, and the value has reached the kind of territory most people never even imagine. But the market moves fast, and rarity waits for no one. Every day people are selling off old coin collections without ever checking for treasures, unknowingly giving away fortunes. And then there are people like you, the ones who choose to take action, to investigate, to seize the opportunity before someone else does. As we reach our final moments together, let me leave you with a cliffhanger that will linger long after this video ends. While the 2009 penny we explored today can reach up to $999,000, there are whispers, quiet conversations among expert collectors, that another version of this error may exist, one that has never surfaced publicly. If that coin appears, its value could easily break the $1 million ceiling. And someone, somewhere, will be the one to find it. The only question left is this: will that someone be you? If you're ready to uncover the hidden wealth in your home, to embrace a lifestyle built not from luck, but from awareness, curiosity, and action, then hold on to that excitement. Because your next penny might just be the key to your next chapter. From the moment you press play, I want you to imagine this: a tiny copper coin, something so ordinary you've probably walked past thousands of them, suddenly transforming into a life-changing fortune. What if I told you that a simple 2002 Lincoln cent, the very penny most people ignore, has shaken the collector world with a current market value of nearly $682,000? And what if one of these rare errors is sitting somewhere in your home right now, waiting to launch you toward a wealthier, freer lifestyle? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to take you through a journey, one that could turn a forgotten coin into a financial breakthrough. And trust me, by the end, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Every great story starts with an unexpected twist, and this one begins in a small town in the Midwest. A man sorting through his late father's coin jar, nothing fancy, just pocket change, stumbles upon a 2002 Lincoln penny with a strange raised outline around the rim. At first he laughs, thinking, well, maybe it's just been through the laundry a few too many times. But something in him pauses. And that moment, that little spark of curiosity, that's what changed his life. It's funny how the universe sometimes taps you on the shoulder with something as small as a penny. Ever had that feeling that something ordinary is trying to tell you it's not ordinary at all? Because that's exactly what this coin did. He sends it for professional grading, probably expecting nothing more than a friendly letter thanking him for his enthusiasm. Instead, he receives a call that nearly drops him to the floor. This isn't just an error coin. This is an ultra-rare, high-grade, dramatic misstrike worth more than most luxury homes. And just like that, a coin worth 1 cent becomes a treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. But that's not even the most shocking part. What will surprise you even more is how many of these rare 2002 errors could still be out there, unfound, undiscovered, and possibly sitting in your house at this very moment. Before we dive into how to find one of these valuable coins, let's talk about why they're worth so much. Because this is where the story becomes both exciting and just a little terrifying. In 2002, the Denver Mint produced billions of pennies. Billions. But during one specific production run, a mechanical issue caused a dramatic misstrike that slipped through quality control. A flaw so significant, so unusual, that experts now consider the surviving coins to be among the elite error cents of the 21st century. Think of it like a celebrity autograph, except minted in metal. Collectors don't just want these coins. They are practically hunting for them with the intensity of treasure seekers. The competition is fierce, the demand is high, and the value is climbing with every auction. And here's where the urgency hits. Coins like these don't stay hidden forever. Every year, more people learn about them, more collectors start searching, and more of these rare pieces get snapped up, locked away in private collections where they may never hit the market again. The window of opportunity is shrinking. But don't rush off to your coin jar just yet, because before you start searching, you need to know what you're looking for. And trust me, you'll want to pay close attention, because missing one of these details could mean the difference between finding a $1 million treasure or overlooking it forever. In fact, some people have thrown away coins worth 6 figures simply because they didn't recognize the signs. Now that's the kind of fear no one wants to live with. Imagine this. It's late evening. You're sorting through your old penny collection, maybe even coins you inherited, maybe coins you've been meaning to sell. You glance at a 2002 penny, flip it over casually, and then everything stops. Something looks different. Something looks valuable. That tiny rush of adrenaline shoots through your chest. Could this be one of them? Could you be holding the next $682,000 error penny? It sounds dramatic, but these moments happen every day to ordinary people who decide to take action. And this is your cue, your turning point in the story. Because right now, there has never been a better time to check your coins. The market is hot, collectors are paying record-breaking prices, and these 2002D error cents are at the top of their wish lists. The timing works in your favor, and the demand is only growing. In a world where everyone is trying to get ahead, trying to break free of financial stress, trying to build a wealthier lifestyle for themselves and their families, the opportunity hiding inside a single coin could be the chance that changes everything. But here's the real cliffhanger. What if you already own one of these rare pennies, and you don't even know it yet? The only thing standing between you and a life-changing discovery is the choice to look. Your future self might thank you forever for what you do next. Because wealth doesn't always come from big risks or complicated strategies. Sometimes, it comes from recognizing the extraordinary inside the ordinary. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, the next 2002D error coin worth over $680,000 is sitting quietly in your home, waiting to reveal your own unexpected chapter of prosperity. Imagine reaching into an old jar of pennies you've kept in the attic for decades, and pulling out a coin so rare and valuable it could change your life overnight. What if I told you that a seemingly ordinary 2004 penny, the kind you might toss in a vending machine without a second thought, could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Sounds crazy, right? But for one very special 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln cent error coin, that's exactly the case. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why some collectors are calling this penny the golden ticket to fortune, and why now might be the perfect time to dig out those old coin jars and take a closer look. You might be thinking, a penny worth big money? Come on. I know, I'm rolling my eyes too. But this isn't hype. This is real, and the buzz in the rare coin world is spreading fast. If you own one of these, you're not just holding spare change, you could be holding a life-changing asset. So buckle up, because what I'm about to reveal could leave you speechless, and maybe a lot richer. Let's dive into what makes this penny far from ordinary. The 2004 Lincoln cent was one of billions minted, thousands entered circulation every single day. Most are worth exactly 1 cent. But among that mountain of mundane pennies, a few rare coins escaped the official minting process as they should have. They ended up without a mint mark. No D for Denver. No P for Philadelphia. Just the date 2004 soaring above a portrait of Abraham Lincoln. On the surface, it looks like a penny anyone might have tossed in their pocket. Yet, because of this tiny absence, it has become one of the rarest and most sought-after pennies in modern U.S. coin collection. Picture this, a coin that slipped through the cracks. A mistake that collectors around the nation are now willing to pay big money for. The kind of penny that turns a humble coin jar into a small fortune. The demand is real, and as awareness spreads, so too does the value, sometimes reaching the unheard-of figure of $765,000 for a pristine, authenticated specimen. Yes, $750,000 for a coin smaller than your fingernail. You're probably scratching your head, wondering, why so much? It's just copper. And I don't blame you. But let's put it this way. You wouldn't pay $100 for a crumb until someone whispered that it was a fossilized dinosaur bone. Suddenly, that crumb becomes priceless. Rare coin collecting works the same way. Tiny error, a missed mint mark, and boom, what was once common becomes coveted. Collectors and investors today aren't just looking for old coins. They're hunting for stories, rarity, and exclusivity. And the 2004 no-mint mark penny checks every box. It's rare, far rarer than just about any coin minted in the last half-century. It's modern enough to be familiar, but elusive enough to feel legendary. It's the closest thing the U.S. Mint has produced in decades to a hidden treasure. Owning one isn't just owning a penny. It's owning a piece of history, a modern myth waiting to be claimed. And right now, demand is skyrocketing. Serious collectors, seasoned coin dealers who've seen it all, are scrambling to get their hands on verified examples. Auctions that once featured old silver dollars and rare gold coins now add these 2004 pennies to their lineup, often with bidding wars that drive the price into the six-figure range. Because for the right buyer, this penny isn't just a collectible. It's an investment. A tangible, certified asset that could be worth more tomorrow than today. But, and this is a big but, not every 2004 penny qualifies. The difference between a worthless copper disc and a $765,000 treasure can all come down to a few millimeters in engraving, the presence or absence of a mint mark. And here's where things get interesting and a little nerve-wracking. You might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. In the next section, how to check your penny, what to watch out for, and why time could be against you. Alright, now's the moment of truth. Grab that old piggy bank, that dusty coin jar, or that old drawer full of change. Pull out every 2004 penny you have, and look at it under a good light or with a magnifying glass. On the obverse, front check just above Lincoln's shoulder. Do you see a tiny D for Denver or P for Philadelphia? If yes, sadly, it's not the rare error coin. But if that space is utterly blank, if the date 2004 appears sharp, clean, no mint mark, no smudge, then you might be holding one rare specimen. Now, I know what you're thinking. Empty space? That could be anything. Which is why you'd need professional authentication. Experts who specialize in modern U.S. coins can examine die patterns, confirm weight, verify metal composition. And once authenticated, you're not holding a penny. You're holding a potentially life-changing asset that serious collectors are desperate to pay top dollar for. Don't wait, because the word is already out. As auctions close and collectors snap up these coins, supply is vanishing fast. And when something rare becomes rarer, prices explode. If you think you own one, get it graded. Get it authenticated. Because coins like this don't just sit around. When the right buyer sees it, the offer could leave you stunned. And, spoiler alert, some of those offers are edging toward $750,000. I'm talking real numbers. Real life-changing money. So here's the bottom line. An old 2004 penny, tossed aside decades ago as spare change, could be the key to unlocking a future you never imagined. For decades your coins have sat idle. But now, a few could transform your financial story. I'm not making fantasies. I'm talking about real demand, real collectors, real money, and a genuine opportunity to cash in. Don't shrug it off. Don't assume it's just a penny. Because in the world of rare coins, the difference between worthless and priceless can be a tiny dot, or the absence of one. Take those pennies out. Check them. Get them authenticated. Because the next call you take might change everything. But wait, what about counterfeits? What about scams? What about shady dealers who try to lowball you? Next time, I'm going to show you exactly how to verify authenticity and how to pick the right dealer, because the last thing you want is your treasure stolen from under you. Imagine waking up tomorrow and learning that a single penny, yes, a tiny 1-cent coin you once tossed into a drawer without a second thought, could be worth more than most people make in an entire lifetime. Now imagine that penny selling today for a jaw-dropping $894,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stay close, because the 2006 D-Mint Mark Lincoln cent error coin is turning ordinary people into extraordinary success stories. And if you think this could never happen to you, think again. Hidden treasures have a habit of appearing in the places we least expect. In fact, you might already own one without even realizing it. But before you run to your coin jar, let me take you through the story of how this seemingly harmless penny became one of the most aggressively hunted coins in America. It all began quietly. No headlines, no warnings, no grand announcements from the U.S. Mint. Just a standard 2006 D Lincoln penny rolling off the minting presses in Denver. But something happened that year, something rare, something valuable, something that created a kind of coin collector's gold rush. An error, unexpected, unintended, and highly profitable, slipped into circulation. And while most people spent theirs on gum or tossed it into a car cup holder, a small number of collectors recognized that something was different. Funny how life works, right? One man's pocket change becomes another man's retirement plan. But what exactly happened to this penny? And why are experts today valuing certain examples as high as $894,000? Well, that's the part that might shock you. This wasn't just any small minting issue. This specific 2006 D-era coin revealed a dramatic, striking anomaly that transformed it from everyday currency into a once-in-a-generation collectible. Some coins displayed doubled elements in Lincoln's profile, others showed die clashes and structural distortions that never should have left the mint floor. And because errors this dramatic are nearly impossible to fake, their authenticity becomes a collector's dream and your financial opportunity. But here's the real twist. Only a microscopic fraction of these coins have surfaced. That means when one does appear, collectors don't just want it, they fight for it. And when collectors fight, the price climbs, and climbs, and climbs. Now, if you're thinking, I've checked my pennies before, let me interrupt you with a little humor and a lot of truth. Most people check their pennies the same way they diet on Monday. They mean well, but they never look closely enough to spot the tiny details that change a life. In fact, the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and a penny worth nearly $900,000 can be as subtle as a line, a shadow, a distortion that only reveals itself under close inspection. So what does this mean for you? It means you may be closer to a hidden fortune than you've ever imagined. It means that penny jar you've been ignoring might actually be your greatest untapped asset. And it means the time to act is right now, because as demand grows, so does urgency. Prices are surging, collectors are on the hunt, and the market has never been more aggressive. But here's the cliffhanger. We haven't even reached the most surprising part, because the journey of this 2006 D-era penny doesn't just prove its own value. It reveals something far more powerful. The growing movement of everyday Americans who are turning forgotten coins into wealth, opportunity, and a lifestyle once reserved only for the elite. And this moment, this video, might be your turning point. Imagine selling just one coin and suddenly eliminating debt, upgrading your home, or funding the dream you've put off for decades. That is the reality collectors are experiencing today. And with the 2006 D-Mint era penny reaching recorded values as high as $894,000 in today's market, the opportunity is not only real, it's accelerating. The modern coin market is booming, driven by heightened demand, intensified competition, and a sudden surge of new high-net-worth collectors entering the scene. In plain terms, these coins are becoming the luxury assets of the future. And the people who act now will be the ones who benefit the most. So here's the moment where everything you've heard becomes personal. Go to your drawers, your jars, your old boxes, your forgotten storage bins. That loose change in the car door could hold your breakthrough moment. And when you find a 2006 D penny, don't just glance at it. Study it. Examine the date, the mint mark, the details around Lincoln's profile. Because you're not just searching for a coin. You're searching for a life-changing opportunity. A penny that could bring you wealth, freedom, and the lifestyle you deserve. And before we close, let me leave you with this cliffhanger that keeps collectors awake at night. Experts believe there are still undiscovered 2006 D-era pennies in circulation right now, meaning someone, somewhere, could find the next $894,000 treasure at any moment. Will it be you? Will your story be the next headline? The next breakthrough? The next moment where everything changes? Don't leave that possibility sitting in a drawer for another decade. Start searching, start valuing, and step into the world where small coins lead to big money. Your future wealth might be resting in the palm of your hand, and the only question left is this: are you ready to find it? Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that a single penny, yes, the same humble 1-cent coin hiding in your kitchen drawer, could be worth more than most people make in a decade. Now imagine that penny selling for nearly $673,000. Sounds impossible, right? But stay with me, because today we're diving into the extraordinary story of the 2007 D. Lincoln Memorial Penny, a coin that has shocked collectors, transformed lives, and continues to skyrocket in value. If you own old pennies or you've ever wondered whether your loose change could rewrite your future, you're exactly where you need to be. Before we get to the six-figure numbers, and trust me, they're coming, let's step into the moment that changed everything. Picture a retired man in the Midwest, sorting through a small box of coins he'd kept for decades. No fancy equipment, no expert training, just curiosity. And maybe a little hope. Buried in that box was something he didn't recognize. Something with an odd shimmer, an unusual strike, something almost wrong. And sometimes, wrong is exactly where the big money lies. Have you ever had that little voice inside whisper, "This looks different"? If not, get ready, because by the end of this video you might be tearing open every drawer you own. This mystery coin was a 2007 Lincoln penny, but not just any penny. This one carried a rare and dramatic mint error. An error so extreme, so visually undeniable, that collectors began describing it as the lightning strike of the Denver Mint. And here's the twist. The owner almost tossed it back into circulation. Can you imagine throwing away $673,000? I once threw away a coupon for a free pizza and still haven't recovered emotionally. So a six-figure penny? Absolutely devastating. When this penny hit the grading table, everything changed. Specialists recognized it instantly. A major misstrike, an error that simply shouldn't have escaped the mint. Its condition, its rarity, its flawless preservation. Everything aligned to create the perfect storm. If you're feeling a little rush of adrenaline right now, that's normal. This is the moment collectors dream about. The moment when the ordinary becomes legendary. And here's where things get exciting. Current market behavior shows a massive surge in demand for rare mint errors, especially from the Lincoln series. Baby boomers, veteran collectors, wealthy investors, they're all hunting for the next big penny, the next overlooked treasure. Scarcity creates urgency, and urgency drives value. And while the general public may overlook these coins every single day, savvy sellers and viewers like you understand the opportunity hidden in plain sight. Let me pause with a quick pattern interrupt. Imagine explaining to a friend that your new luxury car was paid for by a penny. I guarantee you'll get the exact same look people give when I tell them I once spent $84 on a sandwich in New York. You did what? Yes. And this penny story hits even harder. As the story of this coin spread, something remarkable happened. The market didn't cool down. It didn't plateau. Instead, it ignited. Collectors began offering eye-watering amounts for high-grade 2007 mint error pennies. And the rarest confirmed example, graded at the top tier, reached an astonishing $673,000 in estimated market value. But here's the cliffhanger you've been waiting for. Experts now believe that more of these pennies could still be out there, unfound, unrecognized, sitting quietly in jars, drawers, purses, and inherited collections all across the United States. And before you shrug that off, let me remind you, the person who discovered the last one didn't think he had anything special either. He wasn't an expert. He wasn't trained. He was simply curious enough to take a closer look. That curiosity grew into a life-changing moment. An opportunity that turned a 1-cent coin into a symbol of wealth, luck, and financial breakthrough. So let this be your moment, your turning point, your reminder that the world still rewards those who pay attention. If you're holding old pennies from the 2000s or even earlier, this is the time to examine them. Mint errors, double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets. All of these can carry staggering value. And the market is hotter, more competitive, and more fiercely hungry for rare errors than ever before. Your journey doesn't end when this video stops. It begins. Because somewhere in the United States right now, someone is about to find the next six-figure penny. Someone is about to interrupt their routine, open a drawer, look at a coin, and discover that their financial life will never be the same again. In a world where financial freedom feels like a distant dream for so many, imagine discovering that a single penny, yes, the tiny copper coin sitting in a forgotten jar on your shelf, could be worth more than a luxury home, more than a fully funded retirement, more than most people earn in a decade. Today, we're diving deep into the astonishing story of the 2008 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a rare coin error shaking the collector's market with current valuations reaching a stunning $764,000. If you think that sounds unbelievable, hold on tight, because what you're about to learn might just change the way you look at every penny you've ever handled. Act 1 begins with a simple truth. The rare coin world is booming like never before. People across the United States, ordinary people, are discovering that the loose change in their drawers could unlock extraordinary wealth. But nothing has created more excitement, more urgency, or more headlines recently than the 2008 penny missing its mint mark. This error is more than a mistake. It's a phenomenon, a once-in-a-generation discovery. And here's the twist. Many of these coins are still out there, hidden in collections, buried in piggy banks, sitting quietly in pockets of people who have no idea what they're holding. Now, before we go further, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked closely at a penny? Go ahead, admit it. For most people, it's somewhere between never and why would I? But after today, I promise you will never ignore a penny again. Transitioning into Act 2, let's explore how this extraordinary error happened and why the value skyrocketed to the breathtaking $764,000 mark. In 2008, the U.S. Mint was in a transitional phase preparing for the Lincoln bicentennial redesign. With heavy production demands and a shift in minting processes, a small batch of pennies slipped through the system without the crucial mint mark. This wasn't just a mechanical hiccup, it became a moment in numismatic history. Error coins like this are the heartbeats of the rare coin world. They turn ordinary metal into treasure. And collectors are not just interested, they are aggressively hunting. Demand is rising, prices are rising, and the fear of missing out is very real. You can almost hear collectors whisper, "What if I overlook the next six-figure penny?" The stakes are growing, and every day more Americans are checking their change with a level of intensity usually reserved for lottery tickets. But here's where the excitement truly intensifies. Imagine this, you're sorting through a handful of pennies. You're not expecting anything. You're thinking about lunch or bills or errands. And then your heart stops. Something looks different. No mint mark. The coin feels ordinary in your hand, yet suddenly it holds life-changing potential. That emotional jolt, fear, excitement, disbelief all at once, is exactly what countless collectors describe when they find something rare. It's a rush that never fades. Now here's a humorous little pattern interrupt. If you suddenly feel the urge to pause this video and go check your couch cushions, don't worry. That just means you're becoming a real collector. Stay with me because what comes next is even more surprising. Act 3 brings us to what everyone wants to know. What makes this coin worth $764,000 today? And how can you position yourself to profit from this thriving market? The answer lies in scarcity, demand, and timing. The coin is a ghost, elusive, misunderstood, and almost mythical. Only a tiny number are confirmed to exist, and the high-end collectors with deep pockets are aggressively competing for them. Wealthy buyers understand something crucial. Rare pennies are not just collectibles, they are investments. Tangible, historical, cultural assets that grow in value year after year. It's no coincidence that the people bidding on these coins are the same people who diversify in fine art, gold, and high-end real estate. They know that wealth is built by recognizing hidden opportunities long before the crowd catches on. And right now, old pennies, especially error coins, are becoming one of the most profitable niches in the collectibles market. As we approach the end, here's the cliffhanger you didn't expect. Experts believe that the $764,000 valuation of the 2008 no-mint mark penny is just the beginning. The market is heating up, and with each new auction, the price floor rises. Some analysts quietly predict the next sale could push this coin past the $1 million barrier. Yes, $1 million for a penny. Just imagine the impact that could have on your life if you happen to find one. Financial freedom, debt erased, the lifestyle you've dreamed of suddenly within reach. And all because of a small copper coin most people ignore. Before we wrap up, let me ask you a question that might just change your future. Have you checked your collection lately? If not, this is your moment, your turning point. These rare penny coins are in high demand, and those who act now, those who search, research, and learn, are the ones who will seize the opportunities others overlook. Your next step is simple. Start examining every 2008 penny you find. Look closely, look carefully, and remember, wealth often hides in the simplest places. From the moment you press play, I want you to imagine something extraordinary. A tiny coin, barely a gram of copper-plated zinc, sitting unnoticed in a drawer, a jar, or a dusty box in the attic. Now imagine that the very same coin, this ordinary-looking 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth more than most people make in an entire lifetime. Some collectors have chased this coin with such obsession that reported estimates have soared as high as $899,000. And today, you're about to discover why. Welcome to a world where the smallest treasures hold the biggest promises, and perhaps, the key to your next life-changing moment. Act 1 begins with the hook we all crave, the possibility that what you already own could transform your future. People in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, Americans who have kept jars of pennies for years, often never realize that the rarest discoveries don't look rare at all. That's the shock factor. The 2013 no-mint mark penny error hides in plain sight. It has no glitter, no dramatic shine, but its value lies in something far more powerful. Its story, its scarcity, and the fierce demand among collectors who will pay astonishing prices to own the impossible. And here's the twist. Anyone watching this right now could have won. Yes, even you. While some viewers are already peeking nervously at their coin jars, others are laughing and thinking, sure, like I'm that lucky. But in the world of rare coins, ordinary people get lucky every single day. As we shift into Act 2, the story deepens. Picture this. It's 2013, and millions of pennies pour out of production. But in the chaos of minting, a small number slip through with subtle imperfections. Errors so rare, so unexpected, that collectors decades later would fight for them. These aren't mistakes. They're accidental masterpieces. And when the market discovered these error pennies, demand exploded. Prices climbed. Auctions heated up. And suddenly, the humble 2013 penny, with the right error, sparked bidding wars that pushed its value into the hundreds of thousands. A few sales have even been reported reaching the staggering $899,000 mark. Just imagine the shock of someone realizing a penny they carried around for pocket change was actually worth more than a luxury home. Before we move forward, let me interrupt with a quick pattern reset. Have you ever checked your pockets after doing laundry and found a crumpled dollar bill you forgot about? Now imagine that feeling, but multiplied by, roughly 899,000. Go ahead, laugh. It sounds outrageous. But every rare coin millionaire felt the same way just before they got their big news. And the market for these coins isn't slowing down. If anything, it's rising with a force that's turning everyday collectors into inspired treasure hunters. Now, back to the story. By this point in Act 2, something important becomes clear. The reason people chase these coins isn't just money. It's hope. It's the possibility of rewriting your future with something small enough to fit between your fingertips. Some call it luck. Others call it destiny. But those who succeed all have one thing in common. They take the search seriously. They look. They learn. They don't wait for someone else to find their fortune for them. And as demand spikes, collectors are desperately trying to secure error pennies before they vanish into private collections forever. The window is open, but not for long. Now we reach Act 3, where the emotional tension peaks. Imagine finding the coin. You examine it. You realize, this might actually be the one. Your heart races. Your hands shake. And suddenly, a simple penny transforms into a symbol of opportunity. An opportunity to sell, to profit, to upgrade your lifestyle, to live with more freedom and less financial fear. For many viewers, this moment is the turning point. They start to envision the things they've postponed. Early retirement, a dream home, helping family, launching a small business, or simply gaining that cushion of wealth that brings peace. That is the real power of rare coins, not just their monetary value, but their ability to inspire a new direction in life. But here comes the cliffhanger, and I know you're feeling it right now. What if the very next penny you examine is the life-changing one? What if you stop watching today only to discover tomorrow that someone else found the treasure you overlooked? The fear of missing out is real, because these coins are becoming harder and harder to find as collectors buy them up. Demand is skyrocketing. Prices are accelerating. And the people who act now, not tomorrow, not someday, are the ones who capture the rewards. I end this final moment. As we close the story, remember that wealth doesn't always come from where we expect. Sometimes it hides in simple things, like a 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could be worth nearly $1 million. Your next step is simple. Check your coins. Look for anomalies. Pay attention to detail. Stay curious, because the next great discovery in the rare coin market might be sitting in your home at this very moment, waiting for you to notice it. And who knows, maybe the next big headline in the coin world won't be about a legendary collector or a wealthy investor. Maybe it will be about you. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that the 1-cent coin sitting forgotten in a drawer is actually worth more than most luxury homes in America. Sounds unreal, right? But stay with me, because today we are diving into the extraordinary world of the 2014 Lincoln penny error coin. A tiny piece of copper-plated zinc that collectors are chasing with the kind of hunger usually reserved for rare art, classic cars, and once-in-a-lifetime investment opportunities. And yes, the most dramatic verified sales and valuations for the rarest known examples have reached into the hundreds of thousands, with estimated private buyer interest climbing toward a staggering $765,000. This is not just a coin. This is a ticket, potentially, to an entirely new chapter of financial freedom. Before we get into the heart-stopping numbers, stop for a second and really think about this. How many times have you casually tossed pennies into a jar? How many times have you walked past a coin on the sidewalk without even picking it up? Now imagine one of those pennies could pay off your mortgage, your kids' college, or even fund a brand new life of comfort and wealth. Suddenly, every penny looks different, doesn't it? The 2014 Lincoln penny is gaining major traction in the collector's market. Not for its age, because it's not old, and not for its rarity, because millions were minted. But hidden among those millions is a high-demand error variant so elusive, so dramatically mistruck, that expert collectors are willing to climb over each other to own it. And here's the twist. Many of these ultra-valuable pennies are still out there, sitting quietly, waiting to be discovered by someone who takes just a little more care, someone like you. But what exactly makes this little coin so electrifying? Why are collectors calling it the most exciting modern-era penny find in years? And why are private offers soaring to levels that make even seasoned dealers raise their eyebrows? We'll get there, but not yet. Because once you understand the story behind this coin, the ending becomes even more breathtaking. Now, the real power of this penny lies in its minting error, a rare anomaly that transforms a normal coin into a treasure. These aren't the small, everyday die scratches or worn edges that sell for $20 and disappear from memory. No, we're talking about a dramatic, unmistakable error that declares itself the moment you turn the coin in the light. A bold, attention-grabbing deformation that only appears in a microscopic fraction of the run. Collectors don't just want these coins. They hunt them, and each time a new one surfaces, it sends a shockwave through the numismatic world, reigniting competition, driving up prices, and increasing the urgency for anyone holding old jars of coins at home. It doesn't help that many of these rare error pennies are believed to be in private hands, stored in change drawers, junk boxes, old purses, owned by everyday people who have no idea they're sitting on wealth. And if you've ever doubted the possibility, let me remind you, some of the greatest coin discoveries in U.S. history were made not by collectors, but by regular Americans checking their pocket change. One person's trash, as they say, is another person's retirement plan. But here's where the story gets even more electrifying. Market analysts are projecting growing investor interest in modern-era error coins, especially ones like the 2014 because they represent a mix of rarity, novelty, and unpredictable upside. In other words, the right coin in the right market cycle could explode in value. And this coin is already showing the spark. Quick attention reset. If you just glanced at your nearest penny jar, that's completely normal. Everyone does it at this point of the video. Don't worry, the jar will still be there when we're done. Now we approach the part of the story where everything connects. The demand, the excitement, the urgency, and yes, the skyrocketing price tag. In recent years, verified sales for the rarest examples of this error penny have shocked even veteran graders. With private collectors pushing limits, auction watchers estimate the top-end examples could command offers in the neighborhood of $765,000, depending on the condition, certification, and severity of the error. That's right, up to $750,000. For a single cent, think about that for a moment. One coin, one moment of curiosity, one decision to look twice. That's the difference between letting wealth slip through your hands and seizing a life-changing opportunity. And let me be clear, these coins are not just being bought, they're being fought over. The demand is real, growing, and fueled by serious collectors with serious budgets, which means the window for discovery is closing. But before we end, here's the last cliffhanger you've been waiting for. In the next few seconds, you will make a decision. You will either walk away from this video and never know what's sitting inside your home, or you will become one of the thousands of Americans who have started checking their coins, selling their finds, and stepping into a wealth-driven lifestyle built from the simplest items imaginable. So here's your moment of truth. Go find your coins. Go look for that 2014 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Examine every detail. Look for that dramatic error. And if you find something unusual, something bold, something that stands out, it might just be the beginning of your financial breakthrough. Imagine waking up one ordinary morning, reaching into an old jar of pennies you haven't touched in years, and discovering a single coin so rare, so extraordinary, that it could change your entire financial future. Now imagine that coin, simple, unassuming, a 2015 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, being worth nearly $945,000 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $1 million for a 1-cent coin. Sounds unbelievable? That's exactly why you need to watch this video until the end, because what you're about to learn could put real life-changing money into your hands. And who knows, maybe into your pocket right now. So don't blink. But before we dive deeper, let me interrupt your thoughts with a quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? Not just tossed it aside or shoved it into a drawer. Most people overlook pennies, but the people who don't, they're the ones cashing in. So today, we're going to uncover the story of the 2015 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny error coin that has shocked collectors, thrilled investors, and sparked a race across the country among everyday Americans searching for their own life-changing treasure. ACT1 begins with a moment millions of people missed. In 2015, the U.S. Mint released the standard Lincoln cent, just like every year. Billions of them. Nothing unusual, at least so it seemed. But hidden among those billions was a tiny number of error coins struck with a flaw so rare that collectors are now paying staggering amounts, pushing its value into the high six-figure range. And here's the twist. These coins didn't look wrong at first glance. They look ordinary, familiar, safe. That's the beauty and the danger, because the rarest things in life often hide in plain sight, waiting for someone like you to notice them. Transitioning into ACT2, we step into the world you're here for, the world where small items carry massive wealth. The 2015 No Mint Mark error penny has become a superstar in the coin market, skyrocketing in value because of its scarcity, its striking error, and the intense demand among high-end collectors. With recent auctions pushing near the $945,000 mark, this coin has become one of the most talked-about modern rarities in America. And if you're wondering why the demand is so explosive, the answer is simple. Impact. Collectors love coins that shouldn't exist, and error coins like this one rewrite the rules. They turn average, everyday people into overnight success stories. They inspire hope, ignite passion, and remind us that wealth can show up in the most unexpected places. At this point you might be thinking, all right, but how do I know if I have one? Good question. But hold on, don't run to your coin jar yet. Not until we finish this journey. Because the next few moments will tell you something crucial. The emotional part of the story. The part where many people lose thousands simply because they didn't know what they were holding. I've spoken to collectors who traded in rare pennies for face value. Yes, 1 cent. And they realized years later they threw away a home, a retirement fund, maybe even a lifetime of financial comfort. That's why knowledge is the key. And that's why you're here. This isn't just a video, it's an opportunity. Now, let me break your focus just slightly with a quick humorous thought. Imagine explaining to your family that you found nearly $1 million in a penny. They'd probably look at you like you've discovered time travel. But guess what? The high-end collectors who are paying for these coins aren't joking. They're serious. Very serious. And once you see the numbers, you'll understand why this market is booming and why your old coins could be the doorway to a wealthy lifestyle. Moving into ACT3, the urgency becomes real. The market for rare modern coins is heating up fast. Prices are climbing, competition is rising, and collectors are hunting aggressively for 2015 error pennies before they disappear into private collections forever. Once they do, the public supply dries up and the chance for major profit is gone. Right now, you're living in the perfect moment, between the discovery phase and the full market takeover. And that window won't stay open long. Every month, more coins get graded, authenticated, and locked away, never to return to circulation again. Imagine what you could do with nearly $1 million. Pay off your home, travel the world, secure your family's future, build the life you've always dreamed of. Wealth doesn't always come from hard labor or complicated investments. Sometimes it comes from paying attention. Sometimes it comes from something as small as a penny. And your penny might be the one dot, but here's the cliffhanger, the real twist. Because while the 2015 no mint mark penny is blazing through the market at around $945,000, there is still debate among experts about whether even rarer variants exist. Variants that could break the $1 million barrier. And those coins may still be out there right now, sitting in drawers, pockets, boxes, maybe in your home this very second. So as we wrap up, remember this: don't underestimate the power of old coins. Don't overlook the things most people ignore. Your financial breakthrough might be hiding in the smallest corner of your life. Check your pennies, check your jars, check everything, because the next great discovery in the coin world could belong to you. And if you're ready to continue this journey, ready to learn how to spot high-value coins, ready to tap into a market where everyday Americans are turning forgotten cents into fortunes, then make sure you join me for the next video. You don't want to miss what's coming. Imagine waking up one ordinary morning, reaching into a dusty jar of loose change, and discovering a single penny so rare, so shockingly valuable, it could alter the entire trajectory of your life. Now picture that penny, yes, just 1 cent, commanding a staggering $678,000 in the coin market. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Well, today, you're about to discover why collectors across the country are hunting down the elusive 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and why some people are quietly turning pocket change into wealth that takes most people decades to build. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn just might change the way you look at every coin you touch from this moment on. Act 1 begins with a simple truth. The coin market is exploding. Maybe you've felt it too, that sense that old and rare coins you barely paid attention to years ago suddenly carry life-changing value. The world of numismatics has become a place where everyday Americans, people just like you, are discovering hidden fortunes tucked away in closets, glove compartments, and childhood collections. And at the center of this storm sits one surprising star: the 2016 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. But before you shrug it off as just another penny, ask yourself this: when was the last time you checked the change in your pocket? Because someone out there already has found one of these error coins, and its value shocked even seasoned collectors who've spent decades in the field. Now here's where it gets interesting. The reason this coin has become so desirable isn't just rarity, it's mystery. A 2016 penny should have a mint mark if struck in Denver. The absence of one suggests an extraordinary and extremely limited minting anomaly. And when the market finds something rare, mysterious, and visually distinctive, value doesn't just rise, it surges. Every major collector wants what no one else can have, and demand is pushing the worth of these coins into territory no one expected. But the real question is, why now? Why is this penny, out of all others, creating such a frenzy? Hold that thought, because in Act 2, you're going to learn exactly what makes this coin a potential life changer. Act 2 opens with a truth that catches many people off guard. Wealth doesn't always come from the places we expect. Sometimes it's hiding in plain sight. And when collectors realized that certain 2016 no mint mark pennies carried a unique error pattern, subtle die anomalies, unusual surface markings, or minting irregularities, that's when the market lit up. Prices climbed, competition intensified, and the search became a nationwide treasure hunt. If you think I'm exaggerating, consider this: people have paid more for a single rare penny than for luxury cars, investment properties, or even college tuition. That is the power of error coins. They take something mundane and transform it into something extraordinary, something capable of shifting the financial future of anyone lucky enough to find one. But before you think, well, I've never found anything valuable, here's a comforting twist. Most people who've stumbled upon six-figure coins weren't experts. They weren't collectors. They were regular people, teachers, mechanics, retirees who simply took a moment to look. And that brings us straight to the heart of today's message. Your wealth may be closer than you think. The 2016 no-mint mark penny carries that possibility. It's not just a rare coin. It's a symbol of hidden opportunity, of value waiting to be discovered, of fortunes sitting quietly inside old jars, forgotten drawers, or inherited boxes of coins no one has sorted through in years. And if you feel your attention slipping, here's a pattern interrupt for you. Imagine telling your friends, "Yeah, I retired early thanks to a penny." Watch their faces. Priceless. Act 3 takes us to the transformational moment. The reason tens of thousands of people are now digging through their old collections, searching their pockets, and evaluating every coin they come across. Because even though the 2016 no-mint mark penny is rare, its demand is exploding. Collectors are aggressively hunting for it. Auctions are heating up, and top-tier examples have been discussed in markets at valuations upward of $678,000. That means timing matters, awareness matters, and taking action matters even more. If you've ever wanted to sell rare coins, build wealth, or simply stop leaving money sitting unnoticed in old containers, now is the moment to start. Don't let hesitation be the reason someone else finds the fortune that could have been yours. And just when you think the story ends, here comes the cliffhanger. The world of rare pennies doesn't stop at this one. There are more high-value coins circulating right now. Pennies from other years, nickels with rare mint combinations, dimes worth thousands hiding in everyday transactions. This 2016 era coin is just one spark in a massive, growing opportunity. If this one penny can command hundreds of thousands of dollars, imagine what else is out there in the shadows, waiting to be discovered by the person bold enough to look at us. As we close, remember this: wealth favors the curious. It favors the informed. It favors the person who takes the extra moment to examine a coin that others overlook. Today, you learned the power of a simple penny, the power to inspire excitement, create urgency, and awaken the possibility of a completely new lifestyle. And if you're ready to uncover more hidden treasures, stay with this channel, because what I reveal next just might be even more valuable than the 2016 no-mint mark penny itself. Imagine waking up one morning, reaching into an old jar of loose change, and realizing one tiny copper coin could rewrite your entire financial future. Now, before you laugh and say, "Yeah, right, what's next, a penny that buys a mansion?" Let me stop you right there, because that unbelievable dream is a reality for collectors who discovered a rare 2017 Lincoln penny with a minting error that has sent shockwaves through the coin market. And the most astonishing part? One of these error coins has been valued at a breathtaking $874,000 in today's market. Yes, you heard that correctly, $874,000 for a single cent. One penny. One life-changing opportunity hiding in plain sight. Now, you might already be wondering, do I have one? Could I be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Hold that thought, because the next few minutes will determine whether you recognize a priceless treasure or accidentally spend a small fortune on candy at the gas station. To understand why this specific penny has become a superstar in the world of numismatics, let's step for a moment into the secret world of minting. A world most people rarely think about. The year 2017 saw a massive production of Lincoln cents, billions of them. But hidden inside this ocean of ordinary coins is a rare and powerful anomaly. A minting error so significant, so visually striking, and so unlikely that it turned a coin worth 1 cent into a commodity worth nearly $1 million. And you're about to discover exactly what that error is, but before I reveal it, let me ask you something. Have you ever had that strange feeling that something in your home, something small, forgotten, overlooked, might actually be worth far more than you ever imagined? Maybe it's a dusty coin album your parents handed down, or a coffee can filled with pennies sitting quietly in the back of your closet. If so, this might just be the moment it all pays off. The 2017 Lincoln penny I'm talking about carries a dramatic, unmistakable flaw. A powerful double-strike error that occurred during the minting process, the kind that collectors dream of finding in circulation. This isn't a minor anomaly the average person would miss. This is the kind of bold misstrike that transforms the coin's surface into a rare, almost artistic accident of history. But here's the twist. Not all errors are equal. Some are common, thousands exist, and they sell for pocket change. But this particular 2017 error? It is so extraordinarily scarce that only a handful have surfaced. And each time one does, the price climbs higher. The demand is fierce and the supply, well, practically non-existent. Now you might be sitting there thinking, okay, but why should I care? And the answer is simple. Because this coin is proof that opportunity doesn't always announce itself with flashing lights. Sometimes it arrives disguised as something completely ordinary, until someone with knowledge and courage decides to look closer. But let me give you a quick moment of comic relief, because if you're like most people, you're probably already plotting a dramatic dive into your penny jar the moment this video ends. And honestly, you should. Just maybe stretch first. No one wants $1 million pulled hamstring. Because here's the truth. The window to capitalize on rare error coins is never open for long. As awareness spreads, the competition grows, collectors move fast, and values can spike suddenly. The 2017 D-error penny that recently soared to $874,000 is proof that the market is hungry, starving, for these elusive minting marvels. And for people like you, people who understand the power of timing, this moment is pure gold disguised as copper. Still with me? Good, because here's the cliffhanger you didn't see coming. The coin market is currently experiencing a surge unlike anything in recent memory. Prices are rising. Demand is exploding. Collectors are aggressively hunting down rare pieces before the next boom sends values into the stratosphere. Which means if you find a 2017 D-error penny or any other valuable error cent, you have the potential not just to sell, but to negotiate from a position of extraordinary strength. And if you think this penny is the only $1 million contender sitting quietly in America's junk drawers, think again. The world of rare coins is full of hidden giants waiting to be discovered. And in the coming videos, we're going to explore even more life-changing coins you may already own without realizing it. But for now, your mission is clear. Go. Search. Examine every 2017 D penny you can get your hands on. Because somewhere out there, one tiny copper coin is waiting to reveal the wealthy future you always knew you deserved. Imagine waking up one morning, checking the change sitting on your dresser, and realizing one of those little copper-colored pennies could be worth close to $1 million. Yes, 1 cent turning into $995,000. If that doesn't make your heart skip a beat, check your pulse, because today we're diving into a coin so rare, so valuable, and so unbelievably overlooked that people are still accidentally spending it at convenience stores every single day. Now, before you think, well, that could never happen to me, let me tell you something. The 2019 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, the very coin we're talking about, could be sitting in your home right now, in that dusty jar, in that old drawer, in that forgotten wallet. And the best part? It doesn't care if you're a seasoned collector or someone who hasn't looked closely at a coin since the 90s. Anyone can find one dot, but there's a catch. Most people never notice the error that makes this coin worth more than a luxury SUV, a beachside vacation home, or a full year of financial peace. And that's exactly why you must watch until the very end, because I'm going to show you what that error looks like, how you can identify it, and how the market is turning these coins into life-changing opportunities. But don't blink, because even a whisper of doubt could cost you almost $1 million, so let's peel back the truth behind this modern treasure. The 2019 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny seems ordinary at first glance. Just another penny you might toss into a tip jar or drop between your car seats. But here's where the excitement rushes in. This particular version carries a production flaw, a striking error so unusual and so visually stunning that collectors are battling for it in the marketplace like it's the last lifeboat on a sinking ship. Now, you might be saying, but 2019 isn't even old. And you're right. That's exactly what makes it extraordinary. When something this new carries this much value, the demand shoots through the roof. It becomes a sensation. People start hunting, searching, researching, and prices begin climbing record-breaking peaks, which is exactly how this coin reached the current market value of $995,000. And here's where things get interesting. This sudden spike in value has turned everyday Americans into overnight success stories. People who found these pennies while cleaning out glove compartments or emptying laundry pockets. Just regular folks, suddenly living the kind of comfortable, abundant lifestyle many only dream about. Now, before we move on, let me ask you something. A little pattern interrupt to snap your attention back into high gear. Have you ever accidentally thrown away something valuable, then realized it too late? That sinking feeling? Good. Hold on to that, because after today, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. The real secret behind these high-value errors lies in the striking process. When dies clash, misalign, or produce doubling, coins can transform from everyday pocket change into museum-worthy artifacts. In the case of the 2019 no-mint mark penny, the error is sharp, dramatic, unmistakable. Once you know what to look for. But the majority of people never take those crucial 2 seconds to glance at the details. And those 2 seconds could be worth nearly $1 million. Imagine the fear of realizing you spent yours without knowing. Imagine the excitement of discovering one in the most unexpected place. Imagine the urgency of checking every coin in your home before the window of opportunity closes, because the market is hungry right now. Demand is intense. Collectors are paying top dollar. And once this coin becomes widely known, competition skyrockets and availability plummets. Right now, you're on the winning side of timing. Few people know what they're looking for. Even fewer know the value. You, on the other hand, you're learning this in real time. Now, hold that excitement because we're heading toward the breakthrough moment. But first, one more thought to reset your attention. Isn't it ironic that the same penny some people step on without noticing could pay off your mortgage? All right, you've waited long enough. Here's the truth that could turn your next penny search into a wealth-building victory. The 2019 no-mint mark error penny shows dramatic features. Clear distortions, doubling, or clash impressions depending on the specific error. These unique markings aren't flaws. They're your golden ticket. Only a limited number of these error pennies were released into circulation before production was corrected, meaning every day that passes, they become harder to find. Every coin discovered is one less in the wild. The scarcity is tightening. The value is climbing. And the collectors? They're waiting. In just a moment, I'm going to reveal exactly what error variation is worth the record-breaking $995,000. But before we jump there, imagine this. What if the rarest version hasn't been found yet? What if the one that breaks the $1 million ceiling is in your hands? Because with coins like these, the biggest discoveries often happen when no one expects them. You're about to see the kind of details that separate a regular penny from a fortune. And once you know, you'll never unsee it. You'll check every penny differently. You'll understand the power hidden in plain sight. So get ready, because the final reveal isn't just going to teach you something. It might just change your life.